Well, hello. Here we go with another video in our tutorial series. I think last one we played an intro game. This one I think we're going to go up to a co-op versus AI intermediate game. Before we do that, I'm also going to show you sort of a useful feature of the practice tool. Again, we're going to hit play, and in this one, obviously we have PvP co-op. That's what we're going to do. Again, to get into the practice tool, you're going to go to training, practice tool, and confirm. And a good habit to get into when you start learning champions is to first kind of look at them in the practice tool. So we're just going to go ahead with all this, hit start game. And today, let's look at. I think we're going to be playing Morgana if we can. So I'll want to talk a little bit about her. So I'm going to hit lock in.
But I will not break.
We'll just pick one of the runes, and again we're going to go over that at another time. This is all the similar spells we have. Okay, and here we go. Should load in pretty quickly because and here we are. And again, in the practice school, the nice thing is we can like level up. So we can dump a bunch of levels in. And the main reason it's good to go in here, again, I'm going to level these up. I can, like, left clicking is really slow, so I'm going to use the keys I bound to them. So you'll see my mouse isn't moving, but I'm still able to level these up. In any event, as you, before you play a champion, certainly before you play it in like a PvP or later on in a ranked game, you should at least know basically what it does. So here we have Morgana. When you hover over each of their abilities, it'll tell you what they are. So we'll begin with her passive. So her passive Soul Siphon, and what this says is Morgana heals for 18% of the damage dealt by her ability to champions, large minions, and medium and large jungle monsters. So that basically means that, the key note here is damage dealt by her abilities. So auto attacking won't heal her, but using, for example, her Q does damage, her W does damage, and her ult does damage. So all of those with their passive will heal her. So the passive is something you never have to press. It's just up all the time. Her Q, and you can see when you hover over it, it shows the aiming thing. Remember, if I hit Shift and that button, it'll put it in normal cast. So most of the time, right? And then when you left click, it'll fire it. So it allows you to aim it. Same with W, Shift, W. Right, here's normal cast. If you right click, it takes it off. So if you decide you don't want to cast it, I'm going to here and I'll go take some damage just so you can see what the passive does. So, alright, so here we've taken some damage. Remember, so these are autos. Notice I'm not. It's also a small minion. So even if I hit it, right, it doesn't heal me at all. So again, we'll kind of hang out here. Actually, we can show you actually with the jungle camp. So this is the jungle, like in between, like all this area in here. This is the jungle. So it said large jungle camps heal me. So if I head over here to the red buff. Right? If I hit it with my Q, watch my health bar. Okay, my health bar ticks up. I W like it's taking damage. Yeah, so that's how that. So like when he hits me, I go down, but then you'll notice every time I hit him with an ability, or he's taking damage, right? I'm healing a little bit. Right? So that's Morgana's passive. Alright, so it's just healing. I'll go and finish him off so we can get back to it. Uh-oh, I ran out of mana. So this blue bar down here is your mana, and you'll notice I have none. So I'm probably gonna get killed by this this red box, so I'm gonna run away.
My sister cauterized her
Okay, so anyways, we digress. Anyways, that's her passive. So she heals with large minions and jungle monsters. So her Q, Morgana hurls a blast of starfire that roots the first enemy hit for 2.25 seconds and deals 151 damage.
I was betrayed.
Try to get a little health off of him. So again, and you'll notice that there's in parentheses it has the blue, so it has blue 151 damage, but then it shows you it's 135, so that's just base damage, and that's based on the level. You'll notice that we have the show extra stats. Sometimes you have to press shift unless you've enabled that in the hotkeys. So the base damage will go up, but it also scales off of ability power. So that purple one means plus 90% of ability power. So that means if I buy ability power items, that number is going to go
My
up.
broken heart
So actually,
still beats.
I'll teleport back to base here real quick, and we'll give ourselves a bunch of gold. We're going to watch how this value goes up, right? So as I buy items, I'm going to press P to go into my shop, and I'm going to buy, I don't know, something nifty. So right now it does 135, so that total in blue, 151, right? So that's 135 base plus 90% of my AP. So I'm going to add AP. So when I get this item, you'll notice it gives you some stats. So 80 ability power, and again it has that little purple ability power symbol. 600 mana, 20 ability haste, and it does some other stuff as well. So when I buy this, now I have some AP, and it's listed down here, right? 98 AP. And so now you'll notice I do 223 damage, whereas before it was 151. Now it's taken 90% of that 98. If I add, say, another item, right now I have 305 AP. Now this ability is doing 410. Even though the base damage is still the same, 135, but we're adding 90% of my 305 ability power. So that's her Q, right? So that's this one. And next thing you'll notice in the corner of these, it'll tell you how much each of these costs is mana. So I have the mana cost turned on. So this costs 55 mana. And you'll notice that mana cost scales up. So that's the other thing. This is as it levels up, the mana cost is going to go up. Next we have her W, Tormented Shadow. We're going to ignite the ground for 5 seconds, dealing 108 magic damage. Again, in parentheses, 56 of that's base, and it's plus 17% magic damage. So the more magic damage or ability power I have, the more damage it's going to do. So this does it per second. So it's 5. So it makes a pool for 5 seconds. So it makes this pool for 5 seconds, and it does that that damage. And it's increased by up to 170% based on the target's percentage of missing health. So it'll do more damage as the target is missing health. And then it also has another thing here. This ability, this ability's cooldown is reduced by 5% every time Morgana is healed by Soul Siphon. So every time I'm healing, the cooldown's going to go down. So let's go drop this on some folk. Actually, we'll use the teleport to cursor to get there quicker. Alright, so I'm going to drop this, and you'll notice it keeps. Oh, there's no. Here, we'll go into the jungle so you can actually see it. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go get that jungle camp.
Comes from your enemies.
So again, and then. Oh, and you'll also notice underneath it, this ability deals 170% damage to jungle monsters. So that means that she can actually now jungle pretty well. So I'm gonna root her. Right, and then, so see how it keeps ticking down? Like there's a tick on it every time. That's because every time it's doing damage, right? Because this is a jungle monster, a large jungle monster. Every time I'm doing, that was a funny interaction.
We are shaped by
Alright, so anyways, every time it did damage, right? It's gonna I get my soul siphon from it, right? So it's ticking down, right? So it resets really quickly when while I'm healing, which makes it really strong. And you'll notice the other thing about my Q that I maybe didn't go over, so the root. So what the root does is it holds someone in place. So they can still auto attack and they can still use any ability that doesn't require movement. But here we'll go over to this other. So each jungle is sort of symmetrical. So each side has a red buff, a scramble back, and a blue buff, which is over at this other spot. But you'll watch. So if I drop this, right, it's gonna chase me, right? So but it's rooted now. So the root just means it can't get any closer. So here we go again. I'll show you one more time. Right, so it can still attack me here. It's not stunned, but it can't chase me while it's rooted. That's a good thing to know. So I'm gonna have auto refresh Reyna on and auto. Okay. So anyways, so that's her W. And again, it's good even on champions. You know, sometimes they change things. It's good to go and review these and just kind of
Not all light
just to
is a
understand
gift.
what's going on. This one, the Black Shield. So this one, she can actually target a champion, like an ally. So we'll put in a dummy here. Where's that at? Did it spawn? Okay, spawn allied dummy. So we're gonna spawn an ally.
Once I
So that represents a
now
champion.
I have pain.
So I can put this on a person, or I can put it on me. Actually, we'll go back to auto refresh cooldown, so I can do it a bunch. So if I can either target myself and press E, right? Right, I can put E like on him. Remember, or to cast on myself, if I hold down alternate and press the button for that, they'll self cast. So any item, any ability that we can cast on an ally, including yourself, you can press alternate to self cast it. Okay, so what this one does, it grants an allied champion 294, and then in parentheses it tells you how much. So 80 base plus that 70% magic damage or AP damage. So it's that purple thing. It's a magic shield. So what a magic shield does is anything that it says magic damage. So like remember back here on the W, it deals 108 magic damage. So anything that deals magic damage, this shield's going to block. And the shield also prevents disabling and immobilizing effects until it breaks. So the effects that people's abilities do also won't go down when this is hit. So that's her her magic her black shield. And then her final one is her ultimate. And you'll notice this one says Morgana trains herself to a nearby enemy champion, dealing 419. Again, base 175 plus 80% ability power magic damage, so 419 magic damage, and it slows them by 20%. So it's going to slow them while it's doing the damage. Then after 3 seconds, the enemy is unable. If the enemy doesn't get out of the range, and I'll show you what this looks like, to break the change, it does an additional 419 magic damage, and again that's broken into 175 base, 80% of her ability power, and are stunned. And so with the stun they can't attack. And then also it says while casting this ability, Morgana gains 10% move speed, so she's going to go faster while they're being slowed. And then Morgana gains true sight of all enemies affected by this ability. You'll notice I'm standing close enough to the minions, so I actually leveled up by just them being killed. So you'll notice that right now this ability is like I can't press it. It doesn't matter if I click, because you'll notice that she has to be near an enemy, right? So if we go back up to here and we go to spawn enemy dummy, right? So when I'm in range, right, and if you hover over it, it'll show you the range, right? So out here I can't do it. Here it'll come on, right? Right, so there it is, and then watch. So when I hit this, right, I go really fast, and then you'll see the little swirly thing. So he's stunned during that. Another fun thing. Let's see if it's still the case. They may have changed it. So normally you can't. You'll see I can't see that there's an enemy in this bush, right? But when I walk closer, now I'm in range of it, right? And then if I hit R, right, now it shows me that's that true sight part of it. Is it grants me true sight. So again, like we can't see if we put a ward in here. So again, right, remember shift 1, like if we put our ward in there, right, now we can see it. But again, it's a nice feature of Morgana's thing is you can actually use it to scout bushes. So if you think a champion fighting them there, you can use it, and then once you cast it, then it actually grants vision of them. And then you can auto them, or if you have friends who need to auto, they can auto them as well. Anyway, so that's the quick walkthrough. But the nice thing with the practice tool is it gives you time to kind of sit here and read the tooltips and really go through and see what the abilities do before you play it in an actual game. The other thing you can do too is you can kind of experiment because you have limitless gold. You can switch your build around and see, what makes it do more damage. You can come down here at the practice dummy, and you'll notice it keeps a running total of how much damage you've done from it. And it'll even tell your DPS, so you can see how much damage per second you're doing. anyways, that's the practice tool. That's the Morgana's basic
Turret
kit.
plating will
We're
soon
gonna hop
fall.
out of this and go get into an AI game, and take it for a test drive. Another thing though, so you can get out of the practice tool just by hitting exit game. I like to just get in the habit of winning, and thankfully you don't have to play through the whole thing. They have a button that says win game, so just go ahead, click win game, and here we go. We're gonna go try to win another game now. So again, so now we're gonna look for an intermediate game. Looks like someone from a previous game put in a friend's request. I don't know this person, so I'm just gonna deny the request. Again, we're about getting ready to play, so we're gonna go play co-op versus AI. This time we're gonna do intermediate. And then before you jump in a game, a lot of times it's a good time to see what sort of challenges are. So looks like we have a destroy 10 towers, and we have this like a champ. We've already cast skills 30 times, so we need to cast our ultimate. It looks like another 14 times. So those are the main, and these are some of these are TFT, and some of these are special world events. But especially when you're first leveling up, these ones will give you a ton of blue essence and experience. For your first few levels of the game until about level 15. So again, so it looks like we want to make sure we're casting our ultimate and destroying towers. So that's probably just going to happen by nature of doing it. So here we go, co-op versus AI, intermediate game, and we're going to hit confirm. And here, if we had friends, we could add them. But since we're just doing this for fun, here we go. We're just going to hit find match, and away we go. So anyways, it always gives you kind of an estimate, and it's more or less useful. Doesn't do a super great job, but the nice thing with the bot games is they actually come up pretty fast. So let's go and find Morgana pretty quickly. So there we go. We got Morgana. I'm gonna lock that in.
I am bound, but I
And we will
not
take
break.
we'll take this room page. I like this one. What sort of summer spells? So it looks like I have Ghost, which will make me run fast, and then heal, which is fine. Eventually, at higher levels, we'll get Flash and Teleport. So that's that. So we have one person still picking. Hopefully, they pick quickly. Otherwise, in 50 seconds, if they haven't picked, it'll kick us out. Yeah, okay. Look, like so. Once they pick, it counts you down, and it's gonna throw us into the game. So here we go. So yeah, so it's gonna bounce us out to what they call like the loading screen. All right, and here you can there's various windows. So this shows like champion mastery, so you get points just for playing a champion, and then this shows any tokens you've added to it and titles. But today we're actually loading pretty fast. Sometimes with bot games, people use it to test their internet, and so it can load a little bit slow. But
Wings bound and
here we go.
fearlessly tethered. I move against the false promises of order and justice.
And we'll talk about items later. So my initial items. I'm going to start Q. Like Syndra's maybe hitting mid. I'll just run bot. So this item, a lot of times Morgana's played as a support, so you get a support item. This one isn't that. But you'll notice this item, it's a pretty good one because it gives, well, first it gives her 240 mana, so all of her abilities cost mana. Then focus, so then attacks deal an additional 5 physical damage to minions, so it'll help me attack minions. And then mana charge, strike a target with an ability to consume a charge and gain 3 bonus mana, doubled if the target is a champion, grants a maximum 360 mana. So every time I hit someone with an ability, or I'm gonna get like additional mana. So that'll be like over time. That'll be pretty helpful to have. So it'll be up to 360 extra mana. So it looks like
Let me show you what it is to fall.
our Warwick tried to cheese it here, so we're gonna start casting out abilities, seeing what we can get. And again, you wouldn't generally do this in a PvP game, but bot games a lot of times. Right, and so here I'm gonna use my shift Q, see if I can aim it. Almost at him. And there's my auto. Again, A. Alright, left click. We'll remember that I'm a little bit odd in that I don't play on default things, so I've keybounded my attack move, which is usually A left click. Like I've keybound that to spacebar. So the reason you're not seeing this pop up every time is because I have that on spacebar. But you'll notice normally when I right click, it's a green. It is a green
Blind faith is for fools.
arrow, but when I use my spacebar, right, it's that red one. Okay. So here we go. We gotta clear these waves. I'm gonna see if I can catch her up. Miss. Alright, so that was just me pressing Q. Alright, so now we get to level up an ability, and again, don't level up with your left, get in the habit of doing it by the keyboard. So mine's on F2. By default, it would be Control and W. Alright, so she's gonna have to walk through that if she tries to run away. Ooh, I'm low. So I pressed my F for the heal, so you notice I got pretty low because I wasn't paying attention. But again, and you'll notice I'm staying back now because even the minions can auto me. Alright, so I was letting my ADC, I think I can catch him again, and I do. There's my W on top of it. Alright, with the follow-up. And again, you can kind of see why, if I had been normal casting that, where I'm like doing an arrow and dropping it, doing an arrow, it'd be a little bit slower. So I played Morgana a fair amount. And so I kind of know what her range and stuff is. So once you get used to quick casting, which is the sooner you can get used to quick casting, the better. It makes your combos a lot faster, and you can be generally more effective. Now it's really good. Like in contrast to the intro boss, you'll notice that these guys actually use abilities. They're still not very smart. So they run into a lot of abilities. Alright, oh, we got him, so we might be able to get another kill on him. There we go. Alright, so things are going pretty good for us. Yeah, as you can see, the bots, even on intermediate, are not particularly smart. That time I messed up and hit the minions. And that's again the tick's going, so I was damaging the Soraka, so I was healing a little bit, so my Tormented Shadow was refreshing its cooldown. And they're trying to get me to level my Q. I like leveling the W because it does kind of instant AoE damage. Let's see if we can get him, and we do. And there's the drop on top of him. This is going pretty good. And here we're gonna actually use this, see how we can aim this on the wall, and it'll kind of tell us on this spot, right? It'll go over.
Truth is a dark
That's a weird kind of. Ooh, look at him. Broke my ankles. I'm getting pretty low on mana, so. So he snared him, and then I snared him, and so we were able to kill him. So on that one, my mana was low, so I had enough for one ability. So Aphelios has an ability that also snares, so he was able to snare Kog'Maw, so I got like a guaranteed one. There we go. Now I've alright, so now I've toggled target champions only on because I'm in this crowd, and we were able to get him. So again, I press T, and you'll notice that little red thing came up on my cursor. See that? So that means that when I right-click on things, even in that crowd, it won't target minions. It'll only target champions. Likewise, if I had a targeted ability, and I'm going to put my black shield on him just in case he has something else to do. It looks like we almost killed him, but we got a pretty good push here. And again, And so now we're gonna probably get some power plates. You'll notice those little plates on. So as those go down, we'll actually get some those powers. And that rock is being a little bit mean to me. And again, you can see, like, if I were on lock screen right now, I wouldn't know anything that's going on. So by taking lock screen off, I can see if he needs help or if they're coming to get me. And it allows me sort of some additional sort of flexibility in what I do. Here we go. We're just getting our items, heading back to lane. Normally in bots, once you have that ability, yeah, you'll see that, like our Camille has teleport. So bot games, it's usually advantageous to have teleport because in general you're just killing them over and over and over again.
Over a righteous liar.
And then so it's easier to get back to lane, but and those unlock as you get into higher levels. So I think this account's only, what was it, level 3 or level 4? We'll check that when we get out of that. So I don't actually have access to teleport yet. There we go, we got him. There's another again, we always get experience just by being near them when they die, but we only get the gold. We only get the gold when we last hit, so see how we get the gold there, get the gold there. Again, as those die, and you'll notice, like, as they got lower, so now we have my ultimates, things can get kind of fun here. Yep, so we got her. Alright, so we'll see if, right, and there's that second pop, so you see how I kept her inside the range, and it gave us the, sort of the distance we needed to keep. But then it looks like, yeah, we might just, there we go, yeah, I got him. And what you'll see, like, so you'll notice we keep killing the Kog'Maw, and after he dies, he runs. So his passive is he turns into that little walking bomb that he can walk towards us. So every champion has obviously, different abilities, but also different passives. So again, we've damaged her enough that we can kind of walk up here and we'll try to get him from long range, and we do. And there's my pool on him. I'm going to hit my heal just to give me a little extra health. So that sort of jingle and the animation was my summoner spell heal. Okay, now you see I keep taking tower damage just because of my pool. So there's, again, like, we took another plate and we got gold for it. So if any of us who are close enough to it, here I'm going to drop my ward. I'm just going to press 1. By default, the trinket is on 4, but again, I do weird things. And here we have another level up. I'm pressing Control W to level up my W. But you'll notice, and a lot of people level up the Q, and you'll notice that the reason they do that is when the damage goes up, so it does a ton more damage. But that root duration, that second one down, root duration also goes up. So you end up being able to root them for a very long time. So we should be, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that was, so we're gonna wait here for my cooldowns to come back up. Alright. And you'll notice, because that's a large minion, right, it's able to, let's see if we can get him. We can. Alright. And you'll notice on that one, because of his passive, that does a bunch of damage. And that was pretty low. So once I had him rooted with my Q, and then I had my damage ticking on him with my W, I walked away so that he wouldn't be able to damage me when he died. So I was fairly confident that, all things going well, he was gonna die. And there again, you see we got to the end of that turret plate, so we got some money. And here we go. And again, I'm already low on mana again. So alright, drop that. I'm gonna hit my ghost to make me go fast, and even so, you'll notice I almost died. we're able to chase Kog'Maw off again. This looks like we might be able to get
Betrayal never comes from
the
enemies.
turret, and the first turret gives you some bonus gold, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. Right, so you saw that 200 gold, so away we go.
Mortal comforts make immortality bearable.
So yeah, so now we're gonna go finish our first item, probably get some boots here. So these ones give us cooldowns, so we'll get those. And then this is what they call a mythic. So those are going away here in I think the next month once we get into the preseason. Yeah, so here we go, back to lane. So this item, you'll notice it gives us 75 ability power. So again, it's going to help us with our damage because part of the damage in all of our abilities scales, what they call scales off of ability power. So it gives us 75 ability power, 400 health, so we're a little bit tankier. And then you'll notice it has a second, like another ability, a special ability, where damaging abilities slow enemies by 30% for 1 second. So now when I'm dropping, especially my W, it's gonna slow them. So you'll see little icicles around the enemies. So watch when I drop it on this minion wave here. You'll notice they turn kind of icy, and now they go very slow. So when it comes to especially fun. Okay, so there's my ultimate, and I get some additional slows on them. Right there, one of them's dead. So yeah, so now with that first item, I become really pretty impressively strong. And again, we're just going to keep pushing this tower. A lot of it's really tempting, obviously, to go and chase kills, but towers and getting the Nexus really is what wins games. So that's what we're going to focus on.
We are all bound.
Alright. Push rockets back. Alright. Pushes. Alright, so. Alright, so see how he's slow? He just can't keep up with me at all. So we'll get him again here. Right, and that should be enough to kill him. I'm gonna press my heal. Oh, not quite enough to kill him. Alright, Aphelios is waiting for him though, so there we go. Yeah. Alright, cool. Oh. So you know how we almost ran out of minions. So the tower will always attack the minions before it attacks a player, unless you start damaging a champion. So if a champion damages a champion, the tower will do what they call, still say, switch aggro. So aggro is whatever it's attacking or aggressing. So again, like, so the minions, obviously, yeah, so it looks like now they have another champion here. Trying to cause us some problems, so I'm going to slow them down a little bit. And you'll notice that a lot of my abilities are grayed out. That's because I don't have enough mana to cast it. Yeah, still see, yeah, so this one costs 130, my big pool. This one costs 80, my ultimate 100, but my Q costs 55. That's why that one tends to be the only one I can cast.
I will not forsake the land has destroyed a turret.
Actually, now that I have at least a little bit of mana, I'm going to go over here and take blue buff. So one of the things blue buff does is it will give you extra mana, and because I don't have much mana, it might be tricky for me to actually take it at that time. We'll see. So you can actually see me. I'm in my. Oh yeah, that was a nice one. So he was able to. Might eventually. There we go. Okay, so now you'll notice that down here at the Crest of Insight, this unit has increased mana and energy and ability haste.
Shut down.
So that means I increase mana faster, and I have some cooldown reduction. So now I can
Unstoppable.
use that to stay in lane a little bit longer.
Legendary.
So now you'll notice I can pretty much cast my abilities as much as I want because I have what they call blue buff. So I get to cast my abilities a bunch because I have lots of mana. Because oops.
Has destroyed a turret.
If I let the tower hit me, I will not have much health. But we should be able. There we go. And you'll see that time that second tier tower gives you a lot of gold, so it's 555 gold. And because I was the only one next to it, I got to keep a lot of it.
Do not conflate darkness with
I
evil.
might be able to kill him if he turns around, but usually the bots are programmed to just kind of run back as soon as their mana gets fairly low. You'll notice because of my passive, remember my damaging abilities heal me for 18% of the damage dealt. So you'll notice as long as I can like hit the there, we'll get that on there. There we go. I actually end up healing a fair amount. I'm gonna use my heal just to top this off a little bit. And you'll notice my team it's kind of doing a lot of good work on their own. So we're basically cruising in here, probably gonna win this pretty soon. We'll drop a ward in case someone has teleport and wants to come. But you'll notice the blue box is worn off. You'll see it's not down there anymore, but see my mana is all topped off again from having it for so long. And here we are at the final the Nexus turret. What was that name? And yeah, so now it's really kind of just about closing this game out. Yeah, now we just have to hit the Nexus and that's the win. Yeah, so that's a pretty quick victory, but yeah, so we'll again kind of show you again. So once you hit continue, it'll pop you back out into the screen. So we get to honor someone on your team. So Aphelios hung out with me that whole time. So I'm gonna say GG heart or friendly. So looks like we've leveled up. So we get blue essence and an emote. So we'll go look at that in a second. We also got some daily play missions. Oh, we get to choose a champion. Garen's pretty cheap, so I think I'm gonna choose this Riven.
What is broken can be reforged.
And so I'm gonna hit OK. So we're gonna have that champion shard. Looks like we destroyed enough towers as a team to get that one. And that may be it. So again, this tells you like, what tokens you've upgraded, and again, like this one upgrades with when co-op versus AI games. This one is just getting kills in co-op games. Just continue, and this is then a summary of sort of damage dealt and everything that went on in the game. And yeah, so yeah, just hit play again. We actually aren't going to be playing again, but so like down here again, it looks like we have some new missions. So here they're saying play Summoner's Rift Blind Pick, play a game of Summoner's Rift Blind Pick. Interestingly enough, I think that actually isn't. Oh no, it still is. So they're saying Blind Pick PvP. And then let's see, last hit 100 minions, spend 10,000 gold, and then we still have to use our ultimate a few times. So I guess next time we'll go play a game of PvP. Again, if you ever need to switch this, so PvP, when they're saying blind pick, so it looks like they haven't updated that mission yet. but blind pick just in this last patch got replaced by quick play. So you still don't get to know what the enemy team is playing. But again, so that's going to be quick play when you see that. And I imagine that'll be probably by the time anyone's actually watching this, they'll have the fix. So you'll notice a number of things blinking at us up here. One, so in our collection, we got an emote. So over here in the emote, so by default, and again, I think I have that map to C. It's a thumbs up, so we got a new one. So we can drag this over, and so now when we hold down C, we'll have a wheel to do. But we can also over in the reactions, so like at the start of the game, we can map it to, we want like our Poros going, first blood, we can do thumbs up, and we can, I don't know, just fill in the rest of Poros. And as you play, you'll get more emotes and cool things like that. Let's see what else. Another thing. Oh, we got. So if we go to loot, you'll remember we picked our ribbon. So again, come in here, and so we got a champion permanent. So we're going to. You can disenchant it into blue essence, but since we don't have this champion yet, I'm going to say unlock champion permanent, and then unlock. And now that will be available to us anytime we play. And here we have key fragments. So when you have 3 key fragments, you can forge those into a key. So here is our key. So we're going to add that to the loot. So now down here, you see we have a key. See, we also have a chest. So hey, you know what a key does? Is it opens the chest. So we're going to go ahead and open that. And we, by random chance, got another chest. Star Guardian Akali, so that's the skin, and a Hex Deck key. So we're going to add that to the loot. Hey, we got another chest and another key, so we're going to open that. So we're getting here, Dragon Slayer Vein skin shard. So these skin shards, you'll notice that you can either disenchant them or upgrade them into permanents, and you use orange essence to do it. So we actually don't have any orange essence, but with enough of the, like if you have skin shards you don't want, you can disenchant those into essence. So for example, I don't know that I like Dragon Slayer Vein, so I'm going to go over here and disenchant it, right? So I'm going to disenchant that into orange essence. So now I have 195 orange essence. You'll notice, because this is a legendary skin, it needs 1,520 orange essence to upgrade it into a permanent. So I've got a ways to go. Anyways, I think that's about all we got time for today. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And tune in next week. So we'll do, as this implies, we're going to do our first PvP game. So we're going to see, actually, if the quick play satisfies this requirement. I'm pretty sure it does. And it looks like the reward for that is a Lux Champion Permanent. And I don't believe... Oh, we already have a Lux Champion Permanent. So that's unfortunate. But the upside is we will get Blue Essence for that. So yeah, anyways, again, thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you next time. Bye!